The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Hey, what up YouTube fam, it's Dupree aka Darth Hater here with some fresh brand new Star Wars news for you. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and also don't forget to check out my last video because it greatly helps out the channel. So let's get into it. So Star Wars Outlaw being sandwiched between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi is a stronger pull than the Force. So we're gonna read this article and then we're gonna go over it. So if I had to decide what side of the Star Wars universe I'd want to be a part of, I'm firmly in the scoundrels, bounty hunters, and roguish type camp. Don't get me wrong, the Force has its own appeal, but I've always wanted to delve into the world of scum and villainy in a galaxy far, far away. I've always yearned to experience the events of the original trilogy from the perspective of someone who doesn't have power. That's not a hero or someone on the outskirts of society, rather than more defined sides of right and wrong with the Rebel Alliance and the Galactic Empire. Give me a morally gray smuggler and crime syndicate that's out there for their own. Following the release of a new Star Wars Outlaws trailer last week, can't stop thinking about how it promises to bring the fantasy of mine to life. Not only does it once again signal that I'll be able to live out my very own scoundrel-shaped adventure, but it also highlights what I've personally concluded to become one of the biggest draws of the upcoming Ubisoft game, where it sits in the Star Wars timeline. Last year we got confirmation that Star Wars Outlaws is set between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, meaning it sounds right between two of my favorite movies, and with every new reveal and update on the game, I just get more and more excited about the chance to explore this point in time. I mean, we're going to explore this particular era from an entirely new perspective that dials into the side of Star Wars universe I've been dying to jump into. At this point, the Empire is said to be at the height of their power, and while that's bad news for the Rebel Alliance, it spells opportunity for others. And that opportunity is what we're about to try and seize as the protagonist, Kay Vess. In fact, Syndicate boss Sliro describes this period as the golden age of the underworld. And what I can't wait to help Kay and her trusted companion make the most of it in order to live free. I've said it in the past, I'm ready to not be a Jedi in Star Wars Outlaws, and if anything, the latest story trailer just references my opinion. Without a glimpses at the side of major criminal organizations of the underworld, it's established that Kay is vying for freedom after upsetting one of the major players in the Outer Rim. With a big job to pull off, the importance of reputation, which is said to be a core part of the open world action adventure, is once again highlighted. But it's when and where that actually really makes my sense of appreciation skyrocket, and that's all down to the visual signifiers. The sight of Han Solo and Carbonite, for example, sends my Star Wars loving heart soaring, and yet another appearance of Jabba the Hutt, a figure I was strangely a huge fan of as a kid, is really making it sink in that we're about to step slap bang in the middle of the events after Empire Strikes Back before Return of the Jedi's indoor shenanigans kick off. The Empire controls every corner of the galaxy, Sliro declares, but is distracted by the rebellion that won't quit. In the midst of a galactic civil war, it's the criminal opportunist time to shine, and I can't wait to see how we use that on our own advantages in the shoes of Kay. After all, the game's appeal doesn't just lie with the fact that Outlaws will pull me into an era and setting I adore in the world of Star Wars. It's also crucially about the manner in which it promises to do that. Instead of treading old ground and throwing us into scenarios we're familiar with, we're going to be able to dive headfirst into an entirely different side of the universe as an up-and-coming thief fresh on scoundrel sense. Happily, Kay won't have to go alone thanks to her sidekick and dual protagonist, Nyx. And there's no mention of the crew, which immediately speaks my language. When you're trying to pull off a heist in a dangerous place like the Outer Rim, having help is surely integral to your survival. There's something so refreshing and equally exciting about the prospect of playing as someone in the Star Wars universe who's trying to find her feet. As associate narrative John Bjorling said in an interview with Game Informer, Outlaws presents the chance to bring to life a relatable character, a rookie kind of taking her first steps into the galaxy, exploring the world and really getting involved with people and factions that make up the fabric of the galaxy. I can't wait to immerse myself in the setting in a new context and hopefully form a connection with Kay as a character through her personal journey. Star Wars Outlaws shows a lot of potential, and the more I see it, the more hopeful I am that it will help me realize my roguish scoundrel fantasy in a galaxy I love, and the chance to do it where Han Solo is in Carbonite and the fate of the Jedi hangs in the balance Well, sign me up. Well, this is an interesting perspective and to take, and yeah, I firmly stand by what this interview was saying. I really feel that it's nice to get away from the Jedi and Sith aspect of Star Wars sometimes. Granted, that's my favorite part of Star Wars. I love that, but Star Wars is so big and there's so many characters that, let's say like you were somebody in the Star Wars galaxy, you most likely you wouldn't be a Jedi, you wouldn't be a Sith, you wouldn't be in a rebellion or the Empire. You might just be a random regular person. Most people would just be a scoundrel or a smuggler, you know. And especially like how we're starting with this character Nyx, especially when we're starting off with this new character, you know, just starting off from the bottom. And this is a good spot, like I've been saying in other videos, to start in a new game. And I've always wondered why Lucasfilm didn't want to touch anything between the original trilogy, which they've been doing with everything, with other things, like in between the prequels with the Clone Wars, and even after it with, like, you know, everything in the Dark Times with the TV shows, movies, and games. And then same thing after Return of the Jedi with, you know, the Mandalorian and all those books and everything right before the sequel trilogy. But they never really wanted to touch the meat and potatoes of Star Wars in between A New Hope and Empire, and then after Empire, right before Return of the Jedi. This is a nice point of time in Star Wars, which I like to call the Golden Era, where it's like you have the Empire, you have the Rebellion, and they're fighting and everything, and potentially like other characters that could pop up, like they were saying in this, Jabba the Hutt. You have Han Solo and Carbonite. We might even see a lot of other characters that popped up in the original trilogy or anything, make small little cameos. You know, this is a good start of a game like Jedi Fallen Order. We already have the Jedi Fallen Order series, and now we have this with scoundrels and everything, which is cool. And then, you know, hopefully later down the line, we might even get our Mandalorian video game, which they were talking about. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you guys are happy with the aspect of actually playing a game set in between the original trilogy. Let me know what you guys expect from this. Let me know if you guys don't really care about playing the scoundrel, like you'll stick with your lightsaber and want to be a Jedi or Sith. Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell to get notifications for all my latest videos. That would be great. Anyway guys, take care. See you in the next one. May the Force be with you. Bye.